And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the semifinals or semifinals here of the PiGosaur Cup numbers 52. We're jumping into our first series here. Jumping into our PvT and spawning in the top right corner of ley lines. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing his new team T1. It is a herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Red Terran. We have the Red Terran himself, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our fresh TVP. Let's go. Also, as a reminder here, for PiGosaur Cup, it has a unique format, best of fives. The semifinals are best of fives, not best of threes. Something a little bit more unique to this weekly tournament. So that does lead to extra games, extra matchups here. Let's go, baby, let's go. So we have a best of five. And coming into this, I do favor herO, of course, but Nicoract is a very strong player in his own right. Nicoract, he just took down MaxPax 2-1 earlier today, so he had a very strong showing during the TLMC Wardy event, so he was able to pop off there. And again, we've seen Nicoract take it to the best product. I mean, we've seen him beat herO before as well. Nicoract, he has, I would say this is his best matchup. TVP, his best matchup, strongest matchup. He is a terrifying player in this matchup as well. And we often see all-ins, often hyper-aggression all-ins out of Nicoract. He is not like Beyond. He's not one to embrace a longer game. He's one to be in your face early on. And if you miss a move out, if you miss a build, then Nicoract will punish. He will punish. Oh boy. So I can definitely see Nicoract making a series out of this. herO is still favored, but I can definitely see Nicoract making herO work for it. And there's that slim, very slim chance of an upset as well. So Nicoract moves out. So he does break out. Soon pulls away. We'll keep an eye on herO. herO, he is willing to vary things up from time to time. Doesn't have to play standard at all. Does go for the Twilight Council, so Twilight Council opener out of herO. Does go for the Council. Oh. As he gets across the map, delays the CC. Nice pickup. He does delay. Nicoract, he unfortunately the Wonderman has to borrow further. Yep, welding in. Attempts to zone away. And herO, he's going to charge, not blink. Uh-oh. Quick early charge. There's a recall. Stalker does make it back home. Nicely timed there from herO. Here he delays for as long as he can. He kills the Marine. He recalls out of there, and he's switching into a very strong charge timing instead. Now, specifically against Nicoract, I really do like this. What does charge do? I mean, charge shuts down tank pushes. If Nicoract is building up towards an early 2-base tank push, then charge will completely shut that down. Faster 3rd base out of Nicoract. Sorry, out of herO. herO going into his own Stargate behind this. That is a bit of a bold move. Stargate play as a delayed Stargate after the Twilight Council. I would imagine this should be for Phoenixes, so he's going charge into Phoenix. We'll see if herO goes unscattered. We'll see if he can really build into this. It's a bold build. Bold move. Trying to hard read his opponent. Dropping to the natural. Nicoract, he will scout the Stargate. He's aware. Being cool. Oh my god, brutal connect. 9 probes! 9 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. He pulls into the mine shots. And Nicoract, he can pull this off. He can do this. He can do this. Phoenix takes a lot of hits. Here comes the all-in. Here comes the push. It's a little bit scattered. But yeah, he's bringing everything together. There we go. 1, 2 Stalkers go down. Where are the Zealots? Where are the Warpins? There's 1 Zealot. There's 1 Zealot to defend. Doesn't quite get the Phoenix. Shield Buddy putting in a lot of work as Zealot falls. And the tank does borrow, does fall, barely does fall. You see Nicoract trying to break his position, trying to get on top of the pylon. Medevac is low. One more shot. Oh my god. Does fall. Nice focus firing on top of the medevac. And here he's barely holding on. I say that another tank has arrived. Here comes the lift. Does get focused down. Tank does target fire. Nice target firing there with the tank. Going for the pylon. Tank survives. And if we can bring down this pylon, we can depower everything. Stargate depowered. Gateway depowered. How many gates? One. Wow, one gateway. Nicoract, he's done it. Nicoract, he has done it. He has broken herO. Boys are being pulled. herO, he can warp in one unit at a time. Oh, it brings down the tank. But herO will lose everything. herO will lose everything. GG gets called, and Nicoract, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, hyper aggression out of Nicoract at herO. It was a very bold move going charge into Phoenixes because that his army supply was very small army. Not just that, remember he also rushed into a fast third base as well. I do stand by what I said earlier that if herO had gone for more gateways and focus on charge, he could have shut that down. Remember, going into charge early on is meant to shut down these tank pushes, but herO went Twilight Council into Stargate as well, into a third Nexus, so very greedy tech-wise and base-wise as well. So hyper greed out of herO gets punished. Gets punished by the all-in. Whew, GG. GG well played. Even then, it was not easy. It was not easy, but Nicoract does take a lead, and now we're getting to game number 2. And again, we're expecting more of this. We're expecting more all-ins out of Nicoract. I'm not saying he'll go for the same all-in, but more hyper-aggressive builds, looking to end the game early. And again, it's on herO to make sure he tightens up his early game defense. You gotta play safe, especially on Pylon. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have our blue Protoss. So we have a blue Protoss player here. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1 down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself representing Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Leading the series 1-0. Here we go. And again, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is known for aggression, is known for all-ins, and we should not be cutting as many corners this time. We should be seeing some safer builds, some safer play out of herO. We should be. Este herO. There we go. Go. Here he does expand. Does take his natural. Nicoract doing the same, going for an economic opener. Going for the max expand. Here. Just easing our way in. Reaper dips into the main. And, ooh, does not get away. So brutal snipe there on that Reaper. herO going for the earlier sentries to be able to scout across the map. To get a read on what's coming his way. No shot. herO. He's rushing. He's crazy. He's going gate expand. He's getting a third. On Pylon off of one. This is the greediest build you can go for. Forget about last game. Remember, last game he was still greedy. Last game he went Twilight Council into a Stargate, into a second gateway, then into a third. That was still too greedy for herO. This is even further. That's a third expansion off of one gateway. Ay, ay, ay. There's no tech. Nicoract should kill him. He should, once he realizes, right? Nicoract, he's still in the dark. But Nicoract, again, we expected him to go for a 2-base all-in anyway. Ay, ay, ay. Now, if Nicoract doesn't punish, if he doesn't go for an all-in, if he does not break this third, then herO will snowball out of control and he will run away with this game. That is true. But that's only if Nicoract doesn't realize what's happening. Jesus. Okay. As now we're going for the Twilight Council into Forge. Again, delayed, very delayed tech here for herO. He's gonna have to defend with vanilla gateway units. And again, Nicoract would kill him if he was aware. The only thing he knew. Even now, he's dropping towards the main, so he won't scout. Oof. He doesn't know, man. He doesn't know. Once he sees that the base is already complete, then it'll all like click. But he has to scout first.
Add-on complete. Base is under attack.
Hellions, they check. Okay, they do check the third. He does see it's already done. He knows. Now he knows what's been happening. But he's going for an eBay. He's going for +1. herO should get away with this. Drop in the main has potential. Nah, it's going to be deflected. Gets the Stalker. Gets 2 Stalkers, barely gets away. A charge and +1 will finish. And the third base gets fully saturated. Wow. Yeah, here he gets away with it. He gets away with hyper greed. And the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for herO. Again, I can't remember the last time we've seen a player go for a Nexus off of one gateway. Go for a third base off of one gateway. I can't remember. Third TC for Nicoract. So this tells us that Nicoract, he will not be able to break herO. Now he's going for some economic damage regardless and does get 4 probes. Hey, it's nice. Some damage. Gets 4 workers. It is something. herO pushing in. Getting on top of the first bunker. Bunker does go down. Probes. Okay. 8 probe kills. Nicoract, he's holding his own. Takes care of all the zealots. Okay, 7 of them went down from the Raven. Jesus. Okay. So really nice Raven harass. herO is still rallying in. Try to force friendly fire. Ooh, and he does. It does force some friendly fire. But without Zealots, these Stalkers are so vulnerable. There we go. Zealots have arrived. You can see herO is trying to leverage his advantage. Because he has a better economy, because he has a faster attack. He pushes in. Boys are being pulled. And trading out Zealots for medevacs is still worth it for herO. As long as he doesn't lose the Stalkers. You can see he's warping in 10 Zealots at a time. Still just trying to rally, still just trying to brute force Nicoract to death. Trying to brute force it. Destroy the auto turrets. Adds against the Zealots. There's no bunker behind this. Very nice kiting. Brutal mind connections on those Zealots. And Nicoract, can he hold on? He has to pull the boys once again, losing more SCVs. It's going to be 6 SCVs going down, but he does almost reset the Stalker count. this is where I have to wonder, herO, is this too much? So once again, just to reiterate, what is herO doing? herO, he's mass expanding, getting a 4th, now getting a 5th base, and every single time he warps in zealots, he sends them across the map. And the goal is to eventually just whittle away at Nicoract's army. Now the problem is, because herO just lost all of his stalkers, he has no backbone anymore. herO, some of these trades have not really been too worth it, and now we're going for a pseudo-base trade. Zealots, they hit the 3rd, Nicoract pulls away. At the same time, Nicoract, he's going for the kill, but there are more zealots already back at home. Ooh, and the Widowmines don't burrow. Wow, the Widowmines do not burrow. Ay, ay, ay. Auto turret goes down as well. Oh my god, D-powers the Robo though. Okay. D-powers the Robo. No Colossus. And can he get on top of that Robo as Zealots come in to reinforce, and herO he defends. Yeah, herO he defends. Like this was his moment, Nicoract's moment to end the game. Colossus has arrived. There are just so many Zealots. Even without the Colossus, the Zealots, they can deal with this. They can just shut down this army. If they can, they will. Yeah, there's a scare. Now he sees the 4th. And again, herO's economy has just been too good. Like this entire game, he was so greedy. Nicoract failed to punish. Mines. Once again, mass zealots should just overwhelm. Colossus moves in alongside them. We have 2 Colossus, 1 goes down, but there's still another behind this. And herO's done it. herO, he has done it. He has broken Nicoract. Again, the moment that herO got his 3rd up and running, I mean, that was just a brutal moment here for Nicoract. GG gets called, and we're tied up 1-1. GG. As we mentioned before, there was a lot of pressure on Nicoract to punish a 3rd base. If he failed to, then herO would snowball out of control, and Nicoract, he failed to punish a 3rd base. herO did snowball out of control, just mass expanding, and we saw he was being a little bit careless with his army, herO I mean, but he could afford to. Like, he had the superior economy, so he could just warp in and just throw away wave after wave of his zealots. Even if it wasn't efficient, he could still pull it off. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 3. We'll see who will actually take a lead in the series. We're tied up 1-1. Which way will this go? Which way will this go? No. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1, tying up the series 1-1 and making a series out of this. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself representing Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. As we've had some crazy builds so far out of herO. Both games, he's been hyper greedy. Both game 1 and game 2. Game 1 he was punished, game 2 he was not. So does the greed continue? Do the crazy builds continue here for herO? Or does he slow things down? Go. As we just see Nicoract going for his racks further back in the main. It should be going for a factory follow-up. So racks into factory into a delayed CC for the first time this series, true. So Nicoract going for a more tech-heavy start. herO does confirm the gases, he knows. As Nicoract moves out, behind this going for his own 1-1-1. Technically, there could have been like a second factory behind this, but he's going for the starport. And making use of that faster gas geyser. Ooh, meanwhile, here he will delay the CC. He moves out, he delays. Just waiting for the Cyclone. Cyclone should shut this down, and then Nicoract can freely expand. Just waiting for the Cyclone. Behind this, it looks like we have a standard opener out of herO. Again, every game so far has been crazy, but this time herO does open up Twilight Council, should be into Blink. Cyclone has arrived, it breaks down one of the Stalkers, but a second Stalker has arrived and still delays the CC. Oof. Yeah, it continues to delay. Cyclone is being repaired. The base is getting low. Catching out a Stalker, and then we trade. Cyclone barely survives. Estes, 1 HP Cyclone. You may. Oh no! The Stalker's back! Get out of here! He wanted the Cyclone. Oh no. Here he pulls away. Pulls away, and Nicoract he holds, and we're faking Cloak. Okay, does fake Cloak. And here he will rush into a faster third. This is a third base off of 2 gateways, so 2 gate blink into a third base. Kind of 3 gate blink. But I would say very greedy play here from herO once again. As we mentioned before, as we try to emphasize in the current meta, the current game state, I should say, most Brothels players, they do open up with a robo on 2 bases, they delay their third, they sometimes even take their gases as well, but this is just hyper greed out of herO. I say hyper greed, not as greedy as last game, true, but still greedy nonetheless. Still cutting corners. And the onus is still on Nicoract to punish that. Now what corners were cut? Lack of robo. Right, there's no safety robo, there's no safety observer, there's no safety immortals. Later third gateway. That gets hunted down. Nicoract getting ready for his push. He may opt to pull the boys with this, but it looks like a 2-base all-in. The boys are being pulled. The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing here for Nicoract. Either he kills herO or he dies trying. As he's pushing. herO trying to come in from behind. Looking to flank. He wants a tank. Will not get it. Charge is still in the way. And Nicoract is trying to get across the map. He can't afford to lose the Banshee. The Banshees and the tanks, they're the backbone of the army. They're the main damage dealers. The little Marines going down. Oh, doesn't get the Cyclone. Cyclone survives, boys are being pulled, and here he dives in. He goes to dive. He does focus on the Banshees, actually. Ooh, that's a lot of tank shots. A lot of tank shots do go up, but he will. Yeah, he cleans it up. He cleans up all the tanks, cleans up the Banshees. Not the cleanest defense out of herO, but he defends. He defends, he shuts us down. Let's say that we're still rallying. Nicoract, can he pull this off? So we have another warp in. GG gets called. Yeah, he runs out of steam, and herO, he survives, he defends. herO will take a 2-1 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Will extend his lead here in the series, and we'll see if he can close it out. We'll see if Nicoract can bring it back. Again, you saw how difficult it was to go for a 2-base all-in, especially on Tokamak. You saw that because of the rush distance, because of the terrain as well. Like, Nicoract was trying to make his way across, but he was being punished for it. He was being delayed. That's what's more important. He was being delayed when it came to his move out, when it came to his push. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into game number 4. Potentially the final game of the series. we go. Meanwhile, the lower semifinals is currently underway, being covered by Bomioja. I believe he's casting Beyond versus Percival. Beyond versus Percival in that PvT matchup. But here we go. We're getting into game number 4 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultralove. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the right-hand corner of Ultralove, we have the red Terran player. The red Terran representing the planet of heroes. It is Nicoract. We go. As again, every game so far, even the games that herO has won and lost, herO he has gone for a greed of some kind. Either rushing into a faster third base, rushing into more tech. Meanwhile, Nicoract opening up a double gas, just like last game. Double gas opener, faster factory. He has the same building positioning. Closer to the main. We'll see where our players take us. Still waiting for the Cybercore against standard opener out of herO. Welcome to Ultralove. Ultralove is a smaller map in the map pool. I would say that aggression is favored on this map. It is a little bit easier to get across the map undisturbed and harder to really slow down a push. Not impossible, just harder. So we're still leaning towards aggression here from Nicoract. He does get away. Just barely get away with the Reaper. Behind this, producing more. Not going into reactors though. Just a Reaper Hellion opener. Behind this, we do have another charge-based opener. We saw this in game 1. I mean, we've seen this a couple of times now from herO. So we're going to be rushing into charge. We are getting into a 3-gate setup here, back on for herO. So it should be 3-gate charge, and we'll see if he goes for another Stargate, just like in game 1, or if he goes for his third. I'm opposed to a Stargate here, especially on Ultralove. No shot. We don't need no Stargate. Just get another gateway. You'll be fine. Ruby Hellion forcing its way in. Ooh, does not get into a mineral line though. herO defends. herO defends well. He deflects. There we go. Robo on 2 bases. Safe play out of herO for the first time. Safe play out of herO. He's crazy. The Zealot Warpins are his hell. You know how he is. So Nicoract, he sees extra Zealots. That is abnormal. There should not be Zealots at this stage of the game, not as Warpins. So Nicoract should be aware. Bunker's already on the way. Building up his tanks, building up his Banshee. Now, I believe the goal here, especially with the fast tech, was to go for an early push. Unfortunately, because Nicoract just scattered charge, it would be wise to stay home and to expand instead. Speaking of, herO does rush into his third. And we'll see what Nicoract decides to do. Hallucination confirms the upgrade. So we're over the cloak. Thankfully, we already had the robo, so observer production's underway. It's getting that detection. Speaking of Banshee, does hit the natural. Doesn't get too much done. Gets 2 probes. We have the Bay on the way, working towards Colossus. And he was just getting comfortable. Just getting comfortable. The pressure is still on Nicoract to determine, does he throw down extra Raxes and go for a 2-base all-in? Does he get a 3rd CC instead and build that or play towards a macro game? Pressure is on. The upgrades are lined up. So Stim, Combat Shields, +1. It's all lined up. And it should just be 1 committed push. Let's catch the observer. Disruptor first. Bold move. Okay. Not going for the Colossus. Does open Disruptor. It's a bold move. Novas are very hit and miss. Very much so. 3rd TC. 3rd TC is on the way. Nicoract, he's made his decision. He's going to be expanding. He's going to be building up into towards the mid game, and herO is in a better position coming into this. At least he would be if he had his Colossus. There he goes off. Raise the army. Does grace the army. Now Nicoract is aware. Now he knows what he's moving into. Scans ahead of time. And Nicoract, he does have the army supply lead. Like, now it's his moment. We spoke about the upgrades. They finished. There he goes off. No connection. It does not connect, but Zelsa getting on top of the tanks. Mind shot is avoided. Can we focus on those tanks in time? Oh, Zelsa, they got caught up. But they will shut this down. They will shut this down. Cleans up the tanks, forces back the bio. herO holds. And we spoke about it. Nicoract, he had to break through, and he fails to do so. Doesn't push into the 3rd, the 4th base, the natural, or the main. Ay. Wasn't a bad fight out of Nicoract. He got a Disruptor out of it. He still needs more. So he heads towards the 3rd. hero's ready. Position. Second starport's on the way for Mass Viking. I believe, did we skip? Yeah, interesting. So, Nicoract, of course, he is delaying. He's delaying his ghost production, getting to a second starport, Mass Viking. Will the Zealots be too much of an issue, though? It's a lot of Zealots. There's not going to be any EMPs. Ghost Academy's now on the way. Here comes a run by, hits the 3rd base. Nicoract, he should deal with this. Yeah, it should be fine. Should be relatively okay as Zelsa get into the mineral line and 9, 10 SCV kills. Oof. Getting up to 11, 12. 12 SCVs going down. And herO, he's on a proper 4-base economy. 5th base is on the way. herO, he should be the first to max out. hero's looking very comfortable. Now, there's still a window. There's still a window in time where Nicoract can try to break his opponent, but again, the pressure is very much so on Nicoract. gotta go. Here he sims in. He's trying to force a cancel. And looks like, he will not. What am I do punish? Here he's out of position. Do we base trade? At this point, we just might. Does look to recall. Oh, recalls with Stalkers. Does recall. Okay, there is a Colossus back at home. The base still goes down, and Hero's going to try to chase. He wants to chase down this army. Oof. Gets one of the medevacs. There's 3 medevacs left. Still has momentum, but Nicoract gets away. Does get away. Overall, this was better for Nicoract, as here he was just about to push with his entire army, and Nicoract could not have stopped it. So a very clutch counterattack. Both armies are maxing. How many Vikings do we have? 8? Okay, 8 Vikings, soon to be 10. Speaking of Vikings, they spot the Colossus. Gets a volley off. Gets one, gets 2 volleys off. Colossus getting low. Nice start here for Nicoract. Once again, Colossus is exposed. 1 Colossus will go down. Gets 1, should get the other as well. There we go, gets the 2nd Colossus. There were 5 in total, down to 2. Oh my god, kill the Novas! Novas do connect, and the Viking gets reset. The Viking snipes were solid for Nicoract initially, sniping the Colossus, I mean, but god, the Novas are brutal. Hero now going for a 2nd robo. It is late, true. Late 2nd robo. That will help Nicoract. But Hero is holding on to 3 Novas. Speaking of, he does set out 3. Ooh, Novas they connect. Some brutal connections, and Hero's done it. He has done it. He has broken Nicoract. GG gets called, and Hero, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. A very intense series here, and really quirky builds out of Hero. Except for this last game, every game Hero, he was going for some hyper greed. Game 1, 2, and game 3 as well. Hero, he was cutting a lot of corners, and Nicoract, he was having a hard time punishing. Did do so in game 1, but following that, had a really hard time punishing Hero. Here in the final game, we saw a bit more of a back and forth. We had more of a back and forth here. We had some opportunities for Nicoract, but Hero still was able to defend, deflect, preserve his bases, survive, and max out eventually as well, getting up to 5 bases. In the end, he got to his final form, and the pressure was on Nicoract to try to punish, and had some moments, but GG. GG, well played. Shout out to Nicoract for making it to the semis. Congratulations to Hero for making it to the finals, and let's figure out what's going on, where we are. I believe we're heading over to the Asia server, to the green server, as we have purely green players remaining in the tournament. Let us quickly head on over here. There we go. We have our top 3 players left. Percival did take down Epic 2-0. Bjorn took down Nice 2-0 as well. And we have Bjorn versus Percival mid-series. Winner goes up against Hero in the grand finals. So 3 players left. Hero versus 1 Korean Terran. Who's it going to be? Bjorn and Percival, they're still facing off. Quickly double checking here. They're being casted by Bomyalja and by Enki. And they're in game number 2. So Bjorn is up 1-0. Bjorn, he is up 1-0.